Hello, everyone. It is time once again for Mid-Card Mono. We got over here,
The loose cannon.
and we got over here, Sam Keola, the wrestling connoisseur. We look a little bit different because,
I shaved.
yeah. Anyway, we are doing our prediction video for the matches we know so far for WWE Backlash, which is going to be in May, on May 6th. It's the first Sunday in May. Now, we're doing this super early because of the fact that
We are busy.
yeah, who knows when's going to be the next time we get the chance to record together. And both of us realize that our prediction videos together are much more entertaining than our solo prediction videos. So we're here doing this to entertain you. You.
Brother.
What you gonna... Anyway. So the matches are as follows. And this is, of course, subject to change, dependent upon the outcome of Greatest
Which
Royal
side
Rumble.
of the bed McMahon gets out of in the morning.
That also. So the matches that are currently announced, we have a singles match between Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe. Depending
Could
on
be for the title.
if Reigns wins the Universal
Could not be for the
title,
title.
if Samoa Joe wins the Intercontinental title.
Could be for that title.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Nobody knows.
I just want to see Samoa Joe choke out Roman Reigns.
Does Samoa Joe have to choke a bitch?
Samoa Joe
Yes.
has to choke a bitch.
How do you not go with Joe in this?
Joe
Joe is
has not only the backstage clout and the endorsement of Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, but he also has the overwhelming fan presence and like support.
It's crazy
I
how
mean,
over Joe really is.
They put him as returning in the middle of the most random things, like trying to see if it'll catch people off guard so that they won't react as loudly. And they knock it out of the park. I remember he returned once during a women's match, or like after a women's match, and he just like walked out right past Nia Jax, and the crowd exploded. Like,
How do you
what are
have
you gonna try and do? Like, how do you? I don't know if
Roman
you're trying
Reigns
to
come out.
curb his appeal.
Curb his enthusiasm.
but-
You have Roman come out and people are booing him, and Roman's got like knots all over his head and stuff, and
Butts
the
up,
crowd just booing the shit out of him.
butts up.
And you can go, oh well, the fans have the freedom to boo and cheer who they love, whatever. But this is supposed to be our hero, Roman Reigns.
And
Fans don't like it.
He cut a fairly sympathetic promo then.
Kind of.
I mean, erring a little bit more on the sympathetic
he was
humble
upset,
side
I
because
think.
I mean, what could he say?
Yeah.
He lost,
Yeah.
and he lost clean, and he bled like,
Bled. And then you have Joe come out.
and the crowd
Erupts
goes
and
wild.
cheers. Joe, Joe, Joe. And this is our heel.
Second WrestleMania he missed, by the way.
This is our heel. Arguably one of the biggest heels in the company. And the fans love him. Now it's not the thing that it's cool to love the bad guy, or it's cool to boo the good guy, which is a lot of people will say that's their excuse, and that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, I feel like there is a small percentage of people that do that, but not the overwhelming response
the
that
people
you're
are
getting.
doing that, if you're saying that's why people are doing it, that would be your quote-unquote casual fan who is not committed to watching the program and does not follow who is face and heel. Now that is who's going to cheer whoever they want, really, as far as what you're presenting them. They're not going to care who's, if you're presenting them face or heel. They're not going to care about any of this stuff. They're just going to cheer for whoever because that's who they know. I think a majority of fans aren't casual fans at all. Now, maybe you have one person in the family that is a hardcore fan, and they bring their other 2 or 3 family members that are casual fans or whatever. But
That happened in my family.
But a majority of the fans are what I would call real fans, if not hardcore fans.
And are smart enough to be able to follow a storyline over the course of a couple of episodes, you might say.
And these fans also is like, yeah, you may love Samoa Joe, but I'm watching my child climb over things. Allison, don't do that, honey.
Please be careful.
You're gonna hurt yourself. Sit down. No, you just got caught. Go on, sit down. Sit down. Alright. So, where was I? So, majority of real fans, hardcore fans, they're going to watch a guy that they love, even if he's a bad guy, and they're still going to be satisfied with a face winning if it's booked right, and the face is presented as a face properly. And if the feud goes in whatever direction, if it's meant to get over the face, they're going to be fine with that, as long as it works. And that's just how it is. That's storytelling. But, you know, if a face is not presented properly as Roman Reigns, then they're going to boo him. Which is what happened. So, I think the idea is probably that Reigns will win. Especially if he's champion. He's going to beat Joe to some degree and win, and they'll move on to the respective shows. It could be a dirty win, and we could see his new feud stemming off of this. It could be like a DQ win, and then Joe's bit, he might be angry about it, but then he's going to be on SmackDown, so it's not going to matter. And that'll leave it open to later. Who that would be against, I have no idea. But I'm sure it'll work out
some way, somehow.
I don't know.
It's like we could write it.
We could write.
So the next match we're going to talk about is the singles match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. That is a rematch between Alexa Bliss and the newly minted champion Nia Jax. Especially with how Alexa Bliss has been playing off of this, sort of trying to turn the tables, portraying Nia as the real bully between the two of them and their friendship.
I would say Nia retains.
I would love for Nia to retain.
Alexa Bliss just got a boob job.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the recovery time for that is kind of lengthy-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, they kept the Iconics out of action for quite some time because of they both also got boob jobs.
Which I think was a mistake. I don't think Alexa Bliss should have done that.
Yeah, I feel like she'll look weird now because she looked fine proportionally before, but now I feel like she's gonna look weird and top heavy.
Be weird. Yeah. I don't know.
But we'll see.
I think it's.
I would love for her to have gotten boob job and then Nia Jax still wins.
Yeah. I'm just curious, like, does she get this boob job on recommendation from higher officials with the idea of putting the belt back on her and that's why she did it? Or if so, I think that's awful.
Yeah, that is disgusting.
Because, I mean, I have heard that they've done that before, like, you know, they want their women to look a certain way.
It's sort of like encouragement for
doing
it.
In itself is kind of a bullying issue
And
in a lot of ways.
Defeats the entire point of the storyline they're trying to do.
Presenting the Saudi Arabia thing as a huge ordeal where no women are going to be wrestling is also sort of a slap in the face to the women's revolution. I don't care if they are getting $130 billion to work in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, it's kind of... Anyway, that's different political things. Maybe we should do the political monologue one day.
I agree.
I want to say Nia retains.
I think there would be a lot more satisfaction in Nia retaining.
Mm-hmm.
And then having Alexa Bliss maybe do some...
Have to earn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do some other feuds in the meantime. Not as champion.
Yeah. I think that would be a good idea. At least that's where my heart goes. Brain-wise, I'm not so sure. It's kind of a toss-up for me because
It is
I
hard
could
to
see
tell.
them. I could see them restrapping Alexa Bliss.
I can too, but the only
Asuka's
payoff then
gone.
is them restrapping Alexa Bliss to have a bigger moment for Nia Jax at SummerSlam. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
But personally, I would keep it off of Alexa Bliss. I would have her go on to win Money in the Bank.
I think what we may see is Nia keep it, and then we might get a Rousey Alexa Bliss feud.
They're already starting to do Rousey and Mickie James.
Right. I think it's just going to roll over.
Which is another match that is teased for Backlash that hasn't quite been made official yet.
They're really going to have to get Rousey in the ring with people that she can learn from if they're going to prep her for the next WrestleMania.
And that's both in character work as well as in ring technician.
Her mole bothers me. Like I want to. She had that mole right there on her eye, that like skin tag on her eye. I just want to be like, you got something on your eyeball.
That's mean. What's wrong with you?
Hey, if they can ask someone to get a boob job, I could ask someone to take a mole off their eye. Take it off.
I would if I could actually. I hate this thing.
I'm just saying, I mean, that's just like a regular mole. She's got one that sticks out like a finger.
Still
what if somebody
rude.
goes to headbutt her and they get poked in the eye?
Good.
It's illegal.
Good.
For an
Anyway, next match we're going to talk about is another match that is kind of contingent upon the results of
the Greatest
the
Royal
Greatest
Rumble.
Royal Rumble. So it's Seth Rollins versus The Miz for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Now, if neither of them win,
That is an interesting.
what
So,
what will happen? Will it still be a singles match? Will
'cause
it
it's-
change
it
into
really, like-
one of them versus the current champion?
Right. Because Miz could win it, and then Rollins could take it back. It seems like all these matches are booked in a manner of them going, we have no clue what's going on. So we're just going to book cross-promotional stuff until we figure it out.
So it's really sort of a
That's
wait and see.
It's hard to say.
But one of the other matches that is probably definitely going to happen is the first singles match for Daniel Bryan on a pay-per-view in quite some time.
Yeah.
It is Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Can you imagine? You're so excited. Daniel Bryan gets a singles match. Who is it against? AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn, Kevin
Chris
Owens,
Jericho?
another instant classic?
What?
No. Big Cass.
Well, they got to make Cass look 7 foot tall.
He is 7 foot tall. But apparently
Yeah, so am I.
you can teach that. But we're going to talk about that in another video.
Well, yeah. So here's my theory: is that they couldn't have they moved Corbin to Raw because Cass is on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because
They
they can't
can't-
have somebody looking similar.
The
to
same
him.
height.
And Drew McIntyre too. Couldn't have Drew McIntyre on SmackDown if
Oh, look,
Big
it's
Cass
Gronk.
is there.
It's Grunk. Went for a shoulder tackle.
Because McIntyre is huge. He's like legit 6'5".
Yeah, he is
He's a big
incredibly
dude.
tall.
And Cass is 6'8" or 6'9" in real life. And so that's
barely.
only like 5-inch difference.
Yeah.
If he's, or 4-inch difference, 6'9". 3 if he's 6'8". So
Two
it's
if
gonna
he's
be
6'7", it's not-
if he's 7 foot tall. If I'm Big Cass and I'm 7 foot tall, and then Drew McIntyre comes up to me like this, it's not gonna look right. 6'5", Drew McIntyre. Boy, he almost touches 7 foot tall Cass. Just 2-3 more inches, and he'd be right there. Do the math there.
I love watching Big E do this. It's so fun. It's so fun seeing it live, too.
I think, and we're going to get off topic here, I think Big E and Xavier have huge futures in the next, as soon as New Day breaks apart. I think both those guys have huge futures.
Oh my god, we didn't talk about one of the matches.
What's
Carmella versus Charlotte Flair. Does Carmella retain via cheap tactics? Does Charlotte Flair get another title win?
You have to have Carmella retain, I believe.
I agree.
Yeah. You need a major heel. So Carmella has the potential to be the major heel. And I think you don't get a major heel without some victories.
Oh man, wonderful.
So she needs to retain. Charlotte has to deal with Iconics anyway, so.
And I feel also there's a lot of more interesting possibilities with Carmella as champion. I mean, look at it this way. She is the first winner of the women's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
So you want her to look good.
Right. You would think that with Asuka too, but...
And they made her tap out like a scrub.
So, that's that. Hopefully I would say Carmella, but...
Because Mella is money?
Yeah. Is that it? Is that the card so far?
That is the card so far. There are only 5 announced matches.
It'll be interesting to see what goes on with the WWE title.
It'll be interesting to see what perhaps may change as the results of the Greatest Royal Rumble unfold. And that is going to be tomorrow at 7 in the morning our time.
6 in the morning, yes?
I thought it was 7 the actual show.
We'll start at 6.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting to see because...
Anyway, this is us. Bang, bang.